Howdy students, guided project, Word Chapter 4, here we go. First of all, we're going to go to Word Chapter 4 and we're going to open up our checklist, scroll down to guided project. It's going to directly open it so that we can download our materials, download, and going to open that, minimize it, minimize this, and then open our instructions. I will now move the instructions to the other monitor, and the instructions say that you are enrolled in a personal finance course at your local university. One of your assignments is to write a group paper with another student about different types of retirement plans. You and your partner conducted research on the topic and wrote a final draft of the report. In this project, you will format the paper to enhance readability. You will use track changes and accepting and rejecting them as necessary, credit sources used in preparation of the report, and address your partner's comments. You will also include a table of contents and an index. This is really valuable. You're going to be doing group projects as you go through college, and in the professional world, you will be working collaboratively many times. Learning to use these features will help you a great deal. So instruction number 1, let's go ahead and close this and minimize this and pull up our file. There it is. It says, ensure that markup view is set to all markup, and that is going to be on the review tab. And we don't want simple markup, we want all markup showing. And review all of the comments. So let's have a look at the comments. So there's a comment here that says, this is listed as heading 2, but should be heading 1. This says you need to insert a caption. This one says, please change all headings formatted and make sure the whole table is on the same page. Do not check spelling or grammar. Okay. Please change formatted headings, etc. So there we go. We've done that. And on the second page, reject the replacement of 2 words now to lowercase. So let's go back to page 2. That is page 2. We want to reject. Reject. Reject change. So here, reject, reject change. There we go. And then accept all other track changes in the document and stop tracking. So accept all changes and stop tracking. Change all headings to the correct heading styles as per the comments left by your partner. So that's my first one, and it says it's listed as heading 2, but it should be heading 1, so we want to change it to heading 1. That's on the home tab. Heading 1, that's a caption. This says, please change all headings formatted with heading 3 to heading 2. So it is formatted as heading 3. We want it heading 2. Formatted as heading 3. We want it heading 2. It is 3. We want 2. 3. We want 2. 3. We want 2. Heading 4, this says, please change this formatting to heading 3. Heading 3, and then conclusion is heading 3, and we want it heading 2. So there we have done all of the heading styles and addressed them. So I'm now on step 5. Refer to the comment, the first comment by typing, I have made the style replacement. Include the period. So the first comment right here, when I click in it, I see this little button right here, and I click and I can reply to it. there we go. And select the table on page 2 and insert the caption to read. Make sure the caption displays above the above the selected item. So the one on page 2, that is on page 2. We want to insert a caption. Insert caption, and we want that caption to say the future value of money make sure that it is above selected item, and center the caption. I'm going to do OK, and then I'm going to click center. There we go. Now we want to assign the caption table 2 for the next table. No, I didn't get the table. Insert caption. Table 2, comparisons between a traditional and a Roth. And I'm going to hit OK, and then we want it centered as well. And we want to make sure that this table appears on one page. And the way that we do that is we do Control Enter, and we put a page break there. And now that table is on one page. So now select the APA 6th edition style. So we're going to go to References and make sure that we have APA 6th edition selected, and we do. And we want to click before the period at the end of the first sentence of the 403B plans. It ends in TSA plans, so I can do Control F, TSA. There we go, ends in TSA plan. It wants me to click before the period, and then it wants me to insert a reference. Okay, so insert citation, add a new source. It's a website, and the information that we have is name of a web page, name of the website is IRS, the year is 2014, the month is October, the day is 08, the URL, oh my goodness, typing this URL is ridiculous. Now, in real life, you would never do this. You would go to the website that you wanted to get, say, Curtin Interactive Weather, and when I click in there, it automatically highlights the whole thing. And I would do Control C, and then I would do Control V and paste it in here. I don't care because I'm not getting a grade, so Control V, and I do not have to worry about it. I know it's perfect. In this case, when it gave us one to type, what I would do is I would actually type it into a browser and make sure it was correct and copy and paste it in here. But you know that if you make any little mistake in the typing, it's going to count it wrong. I'm just going to leave it like this because I already typed it once and I'm not, well, I could do Control Z. There we go. Okay. So that put in our citation. Now it wants to click before the period ending the first sentence in the 401k section. The sentence ends with at their workplace. So I'm going to type in at their workplace. At their workplace. There we go. Got it. And then I'm going to insert another citation, a new source. It's going to be website because it already was. The name of the web page is 401k plan. IRS. I'm using tab to get through the fields. How do you like that? .com. There we go, something. You got to type out the whole thing. I don't. Okay, got that one in there. Now it wants us to insert a footnote on page 2 at the end of the table heading in the introduction section. So that's page 5, 4, 3, 2 at the end of the table. In the introduction section, it's going to want it right here. So I'll put my cursor right there. And we're going to type the following footnote. So I've got references, insert footnote. Now what happens is that pops me down to the bottom of the page to insert my footnote. Did I do insert endnote? Insert footnote. Let's see. All right, so it puts me down at the bottom of the page where I just go ahead and type my footnote, which is the calculation did not COLA. Okay, now that we've done that, it wants us to change the number format to ABC, and this is a little bit tricky, so I'm going to bring up my magnification so that you can see what we've got going on here. So we've got this little 1, and that's actually a little object, and then I go to Note Options. So I right-clicked it, Note Options, and Note Options is where I can change the format to the ABC that it asks for. Okay. Oh, it ended up putting 2 of them in there. So I'm going to backspace, delete one of them. There we go. Okay. Now we want a blank page at the end of the report, so Control End. I did Control End again in the instructions. Not exactly what I wanted. Now I've got to get down to that correct instruction. Okay, so Control End here. Control End. It wants a blank space, so blank page, Control Enter. And then it wants us to insert a bibliography with the title Works Cited. So this is so easy. Bibliography, up here in Citations and Bibliography with the title Works Cited, and automatically it puts it in there, and that is just huge because I did research papers back when we actually had to follow a style sheet and type all this stuff up, and if you made a mistake you'd end up typing the whole page again. Even when word processors came along and you had the ability to go in and edit, it was still a cumbersome project, and now that it does it for you automatically, I'm just a little bit jealous of y'all. It wants the bibliography to be double-spaced with no paragraph spacing before or after. So it's already highlighted. I'm going to go to the Home tab, Paragraph. I'm going to choose double spacing, no space before or after. Okay, so it is now double spaced. That doesn't look like double spaced to me, does it to you? It looked like it was highlighted, didn't it? But it was not. There we go. So we want to format the bibliography with a font of Times New Roman size 12. Let's make sure it's all highlighted this time. Times New Roman size 12, it already is, okay. And that all the text should be black text 1 font color. So we're going to go to font color, and it's automatic, but what we want is black text 1. And we'll just make sure that it is. Okay. Ensure that no text is bold. And that is bold. So we're going to unbold that. Control B. Apparently it wants it to be bold and it won't let me unbold it because that's part of its format. So fine. Now we want to create a table of contents on a new page positioned between the cover page and the current page too. So I'm going to just do Control Home. And we're going to scroll down here. And I'm going to click right in front of the I and do Control Enter. And then I'm going to go up here in front of my page break, and that's where I'm going to insert my table of contents. So references, table of contents, and it wants it to be automatic table 1 style. Automatic table 1 style. Isn't this just the coolest as well? No, look at that. Okay. Okay, now it wants us to mark some index entries, and this is another thing that is just cool beans. So in order to do this, what you want to do is you want to do Control F, open up your navigation task pane, and you want to search for the words that you're going to mark. So the first word we're searching for is contribution. Oops, my cursor wasn't in there, was it? I thought it was. Hit Enter, it highlights all of them. So now I'm going to mark entry and contribution, current page, mark all. Close. It wants us to do Roth IRA. Do Enter, mark entry, mark all, traditional IRA, mark entry, mark all, close. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of them. So I'm going to select the first occurrence of deduction and set a cross-reference, because I've certainly demonstrated enough. So I'm going to do mark entry again, but I'm going to do cross-reference, see contribution. Mark. Close. Now, it wants to add an index on a blank page at the end of the document. Again, Control End. Told you we were going to use it a lot. And it wants to be on a blank page. So insert index, and it tells us use the classic format and accept all other default settings. So format, classic, and all other default. So okay. So there we go. And it puts it all there. So here's deduction with the cross-reference, see contribution. There's contribution, every page that it occurs on, Roth IRA, every page it occurs on, and if we put the other ones, they would be in there as well. And you, of course, will put the other ones because you're going to want a perfect paper. Now, it wants a footer with a centered page number using plain number 2, and do not display the page number footer on the first page. So numbering begins with 1. So I am going to do this the easy way. Double click down here. Actually, I've told you this in a previous one, that if it's a page number, it wants it at the bottom of the page, plain number 2. There we go. Done. Now let's go up and let's check and make sure that it did not go on the cover page. And we know that it didn't because this is page 1, and that's what it should do. So when you create sections, so there was a section break between these two pages, that's what allows you to have a different first page. This also says different first page on the design of the footer, so that you don't have a page number on that first page, which is the cover page and not technically the first page of the document. Save the document, exit Word, submit as directed. So there you go. Close, save, and submit, and you are done.